You ready?
Let's do it.
Squad. I mean, it's been turning up with her. The girl around us and she loving her. If we don't know you, don't come close to her. If you with your gang, let me hear you say what?
Good afternoon, good evening, good night. This is season 3, episode 1.5 of the Read, Talk, and Listen podcast.
Man,
I am your host,
make it
Nick
two.
Reed, along with my brother and co-host, Trey Reed. How you doing tonight, man?
Man, I am great, man. I'm great. Just long day of work. Went to the gym. Body feeling good. I'm feeling good, man. That's it. How you been doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. A long day, man. Who knew watching basketball could be so tiring? I've watched 6 or 7 or 8 games today. I don't even lost count. Did a few coaches interviews, man. Talked to the players. Ate a little bit of food, man. But it was a long day.
Yeah.
A long day, man. But I say episode 1.5 because we normally do one a week. And I really just wanted to hop on tonight, get a little interaction from the fans, a little interaction from the listeners. Some people hop on, get some opinions on a couple of things, touch a couple of things that we re-upped on that we talked about in the last episode. And stuff like that, man. So episode 1.5, it ain't 2 yet.
Right. I got you. just a little something extra, little line yap.
Yeah, a little line yap, man. A little something extra to hold you over. But
is that what that means?
I was told that, okay? I've never actually looked it up, and I've spread this message far and wide. So hopefully that is what it means. But I had an old special teams coach. He used to say lanyap. We have a lanyap period. Come get you a little extra. That's what lanyap meant in French or something. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But hey, that's what he said. You know what I mean? So to me, lanyap means a little bit extra, man. Come get you a little something.
Oh, lag nappy.
Yeah, man. I've heard it be called a lot of things, man. But first things first, we got to hit on the Barry Bonds situation, man.
Man, I know last show we had we were talking about it pre-show, and then we got the rolling talking about the metaverse and college football, and I totally forgot about it.
Exactly, man. Same here. It went over my head, which is crazy because before everybody knows me as a big Poppy fan when it comes to baseball. Everybody knows me as David Ortiz. Somewhat modeled my game after his. But before David Ortiz, it was strictly Barry Bonds in our household.
Oh yeah, man, Barry Bonds. I remember when he was going for the home record. Man, we went to Arlington to watch the Rangers play the Giants and a doubleheader. We were there for 2 days, 3 days. 3 days. One day we're just chilling. Then with the one game, the next day was a doubleheader. Terrible idea. Doubleheader is a terrible idea, man.
Yeah, wild times, man. I love baseball. I'm a really, really, really baseball lover. And going to a Major League Baseball game, to be completely honest,
it's boring.
It's not that fun.
Nope. We went for work one time. We went down and saw the Royals. I forgot who they were playing, and I can tell you now, it was boring until they bought us. They bought us passes to go inside of it's like a little nightclub thing they had there, or not a nightclub, more of like a kind of like a lounge or whatever. Now that was fun. But you're not watching the game.
Exactly. But also like some baseball, like some baseball things are funner than others simply for the fact that it's the experience of like the park. So like say you're going to a Wrigley or a Fenway.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and give a shout out, hand clap to my boy Michael Walker right now. Hometown.
I like that one better.
Hometown guy signing with the home team for me, Boston Red Sox, man. Hopefully get to watch him play out there at Fenway. Gonna be legit. But man, that's something crazy. But like I said, it's about the park experience more than it actually is about watching the game, unless you have someone that you're there
to watch.
So you know what I mean? So yeah.
I don't know. And Texarkana, we've had 2 guys play for the Red Sox.
Yeah, we had Will Middlebrooks play for the Red Sox, and then now we have Michael Walker.
Hey, getting some of that Texas love that way.
Oh yeah, most definitely, man.
But yeah,
But back to the Barry Bonds.
yeah, it's all about the park experience. I've only been to a handful of MLB games, and I can tell you, after probably about the fourth or fifth inning, I'm full and I'm full of food and little drink, and I ain't worried about what's really going on.
And it's also like Major League games are just like a tad bit longer than most. You know,
Yeah.
most people have only been to high school games. A lot of people haven't even been to a college game. So you go to a high school game, 7 innings. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's preached in high school to run on and off the field, sprinting, you know, as hard as you can, on and off. You know what I mean?
And that ain't taking place in the
As
major.
you know, exactly. As you level up in baseball, it kind of gets, I'm not gonna say lazier, but more lackadaisical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's about what you do in between the pitches and at bats than what it is in between innings. You know what I mean?
You got TV timeouts and all that.
So like, you know, taking your time, getting on and off the field, you know, all that good stuff. And so it stretches it out. So if you've never been to a major league game and you're going there expecting it to be at that pace that you may have seen your son play in high school, then you're going to be, you know, sadly disappointed. But I don't want to vary away from the Barry Bonds situation.
Yeah.
Me and you, we sat there and we saw a documentary of somewhat, a mini doc, leading up to the voting, which the voting's happening this week or it happened yesterday or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And we watched a few sports writers, some that look just like me and you.
Yeah, yeah.
Say that they would never vote for Barry Bonds.
Yeah, I was shocked because, you know, because how the dude did it was he talked about 5 to 10 minutes. And the whole time he's giving Barry Bonds all this praise, you know, how good he was. He played like his dad and all this stuff. And then right towards the end, or not even towards the end, at the end, he goes, but with all that being said, I'll never vote for Barry Bonds.
Exactly.
And it was like, how could you sit here and preach and praise this man and then follow up that praise with, but I'm not going to vote for him because of the whole steroid thing. And the crazy part about it is he never tested positive for any steroids.
Exactly. And that's my biggest thing. How is this guy being ridiculed over hearsay?
Man,
how can you ridicule someone over hearsay?
Well, I mean, it's just like what goes on. It's just like what goes on in the media today. Even though you're not found guilty of anything, you know, saying just the allegations alone can ruin a person's reputation.
Exactly, allegations alone can ruin someone's reputation, man. And that's it. I just want to call out some of his accolades over the course of his career, man. I just want to call out some of his accolades over the course of his career here. We've got 14-time All-Star.
Yep.
7-time NL MVP. 8-time Gold Glove Award. 12-time Silver Slugger Award. 3-time NL Hank Aaron Award. 2-time NL Batting Champion. 2-time NL Home Run Leader. NL RBI Leader. His number's retired, and he's on the Giants Wall of Fame.
So
his record, I'm not done yet. Not done yet. That's what I'm saying. Not done yet. These are the records he holds. 762 career home runs. 73 home runs in a single season. 2,558 career base on balls. 232 base on balls in a single season. 609 on base percentage in a single season. 863 slugging percentage in a single season.
That's it.
That's it. Oh, he's got a bronze medal representing the U.S. team in baseball in '84.
They must not do that no more. They must not play anymore.
They play a world baseball still. They still play world.
And we don't win it?
Not all the time.
I mean, you would think so. You think it'd be like basketball.
Why would you think that when baseball players don't come from here?
Yeah, most of them from Dominican Republic. They look like us.
I mean, you know, they Puerto Rico, you know,
Yeah, Puerto Rico. Then you got Dominican Republic. You got yeah, even Mexico. Their baseball players
exactly. I
are
think
coming
I'm
up.
pretty sure Mexico is up in the top of that world shit.
Yeah, even that and also in the World Cup.
Exactly. Hey, that
But man,
boy said 4-time WWF heavyweight champ. I don't know if that's real.
who Barry Bonds?
I don't know if that's real, but I mean the accolades go on and on, man, and to keep someone like that out of the Hall of Fame is ridiculous. Same thing with like Pete Rose, like where they keep Rose out of the Hall of Fame. And it matters what you did on the field. If we take the steroids out of it, Barry Bonds still has a Hall of Fame career, and also he never tested positive. That's the biggest. That's the
Yeah.
elephant in the room here. He never tested positive for steroids.
Yeah, but see, what's going to happen is if you know, I believe they're going to vote him in. They're going to make him sweat, but they're going to still get him in. But if they don't, then that's going to set the bar for all the other guys. You know what I'm saying, throughout history who's been attached to steroids.
This is the thing right here. I don't think he's getting in. I want him to get in, obviously, but I do not think he's getting in. For the simple fact that we just sat here and watched 4 or 5 guys for sure that are saying no, and they have a vote.
But they could just be. I mean, in my heart, I'm saying they just saying that on TV to get the shock value, to get people like me and you to talk about it. But then behind closed doors, they gonna vote. I don't think so. That's what I'm hoping, because like
the world hasn't showed me different. The world has repeatedly showed me or shown me that in times like these, no one's going to look at what's in front of their face. They're only going to go by what's being said.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just want to believe in my heart that people will be logical and like, you know what, like if you put all the facts on the table and you really look it over, he deserved to be in. Like it'd be different if he was found guilty, but he wasn't found guilty of anything. So like, you know, vote him in. But I also believe that these sports writers they have, this is kind of like their get back. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, if you didn't talk to us, or if you were, you weren't the person that they want you to be, then this is kind of like their, well, we can hold this over your head for the rest of your life or whatever.
And that's another thing I want to talk about too. Like, I don't think that sports writers are the guys that should be voting on this.
No, because they are what they are. They're writers.
You're on the other side of the screen.
Yeah.
You'll always be on the other side of the screen. Not saying there's not writers and analysts that have played the game. I'm not saying that. But there are a ton of them who haven't. There are a ton of them that are strictly analytic. There are a ton of them that are strictly, like you said, going on the emotional value of how you treated them as a player to them as someone behind the mic.
Right.
They have too much of another agenda in the situation for them to be, because like they're writers. So Barry Bond doesn't get in. Now I have a lot to write about.
Yep, I got a lot to write about. Then I can turn around and turn this into a book and tell y'all why I didn't go vote for him.
Yeah, it just
and I can turn this into some money. I can go on a whole tour as to why we didn't let Barry Bond in. And every time this conversation comes up, my name's going to get brought up along with some other guys, and we're going to continue to get this clout for the rest of our lives, or as long as this conversation is valid.
Exactly, and I don't understand how the media, or I don't understand how the sport allows the media to play such a huge factor in things that go on.
Man, I mean, we've talked about it before, dude. The media make and break athletes, and that is what it is. I've always wanted to where, when it comes to like voting for any kind of MVP or any kind of award for a player, it should be voted on by the players and coaches. You know what I'm saying? I've never liked the fact that someone who's outside of the game, all you do is write about it, that you get a say so. Like, you don't look at the game the same way that a coach would or a player would. You don't see the small things that that make and break a player. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Hey, but pause on this conversation real quick.
Yep.
Hey, we know that the Cowboys are playing right now. The score is 13-7 if you're over here and not over there, but it's 2021. It's 2021 and you can do both at the same time. I promise. Second of all, I do not care for the Cowboys at all. And I want to get this pod out. Also, we are on Spotify and Apple Music. So once we get done here, we rip it and put it on there. So this is just for the listeners that got a heavy ear, Brandon. Damn. Get off us, man. Get off us and let us do our job over here.
I honestly, I was at the gym today, and one of the guys that I'm a Cowboy fan. He goes, "Hey, man, you watching the game tonight?" And I'm like, "What game?" I don't watch a lot of football. Like I watch the highlights. I don't got the patience to sit and watch a whole game unless I'm there in person. Then that's different.
Or if it's a good game, which
yeah,
it's Saints Cowboys. I don't know how good it could be. I mean, I know you're a fan, but
anytime them boys playing is good.
I'm just giving you a hard time too, man. Don't run off the live.
Shoot.
But no, man. But yeah, these media guys have way too much of a hold on the sports right now. And that's me being in media and also in the sports media. Media has a lot of hold on the sports. I mean, we don't spin things down at the high school level like they are up there at the pro level, but media is just controlling the sports game so hard right now. I mean, it controls guys' career. We've already covered that,
right?
And it controls the way we feel about certain organizations, certain teams. It controls how we feel about certain players. It controls who gets in and who doesn't. The media controls it all instead of the guys who have been through the struggle, been through the grind, ex-coaches and ex-players. Will there be some personal agenda in some of those guys' votes? Yes, but I don't think anywhere near as much as we get from the writers.
Oh yeah, because I mean, and I think that's one of the main reasons why these athletes are forced to do interviews, man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They're forced to do these interviews. Some of these guys don't talk well. Some of them don't have the personality for the media, so they come off as being stuck up or rude or whatever. And it's like that's not the case. The person is nervous in front of the camera.
Yeah,
they didn't come to the NBA or the NFL or the MLB to talk in front of a camera. They came to play ball. That's what they do. Now, do you have some players that are great in front of the camera? Of course, but like I said, there are people out there that they just don't like talking to people. Man, sports is their outlet. That's it. I don't need to do all that talking. And sometimes the media takes, like I said, take it as that person's being rude and say you have a great career. Then when it gets time for that Hall of Fame voting, old Todd at MSNBC who got a vote. Well, I ain't voting for him because back in 1992, I tried to talk to him at an Applebee's and he ain't had no time for me.
Yeah.
And that's where that personal, that grudge come in because they can say, I'm the reason I stopped. I'm the reason he didn't get in.
Exactly. I can be that driving force. I can be the reason he get in. Hey, the score to that game update, man, it's 13-10 now. Cowboys obviously dropping the ball like always. 13-10, Saints coming back. Hope they win. Can't stand the Cowboys. For real, man, for real. Hey, we also want to give a little moment of silence right here for the guy in Florida who lost his life trying to protect his mom, man. Give us a quick moment of silence for him right here. All right, we back. For those that don't know, former UCF football player Juice was killed earlier this week, protecting his mother from his father. Unfortunately, obviously crazy family situation there. Don't have very many details on that, but we do want to give him a shout out because this is a somewhat of a sports podcast. We got a little sports news right there for you.
And bro, that like when you brought that up to me, I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I looked it up and I'm like, man, that's just a crazy situation. Like right after Thanksgiving, a time in the year where we're supposed to be getting closer and closer to family. You got family having beef, man, and it started. It ended tragically, and it sucks. There's another player that's losing his life.
Brandon, click the link because you keep talking down there, buddy.
No,
Click the
no,
link.
no. It's not just sports writers, but there are a lot of sports writers that have votes.
Exactly. Not just, and we know it's not just any sports writer, but I'm just saying, in 1984, he was just any sports writer.
Yeah,
You see what I mean?
he
In,
wa-
ni- in
he wasn't a big
1990,
name.
exactly. In 1990, he was just any sports writer. You know what I'm saying, Brandon? Just click the link, brother. Click
But
the link.
I had this. I feel the same way about the college football playoff. Why do we got politicians? Why do we got politicians on the board? What's their connection to college football?
Exactly.
And I think we should. And when it comes to sports,
Besides their alum. Or their alumnus or whatever however you say it.
Alumni, the alumni of the school, or whatever. But even still, like you, just because you graduated from a school, don't mean you know.
I know. I'm just saying, like that's their only tie to it.
Yeah,
that can be unless they play football, I guess. But
yeah, I don't know. I think it needs to be more. What's that? Athletes.
The politicians that have votes do not play football, or the ones of like the ones that I can name right now that run through my head did not play football for sure.
Yeah,
one's a female.
Yep, Condoleezza Rice.
So definitely didn't play football, but has a vote, or held a vote at one point.
But honestly, I think there's probably out of that whole committee, there's probably like 4, maybe 5 people that actually know anything about sports. And then the ones that don't just go off what the other people are saying. Yes,
yeah, that's a good one right there.
Yep, I agree with that.
Brandon says the ones that are in the Hall of Fame should have a vote as well, and I think that's a way in heavy.
Yeah, because that's how the Heisman does it. Isn't it? Don't all the winners of the Heisman, past winners, get a vote?
See, now I don't know about that. Where's Measley when you need him?
That's I know that for a fact.
You know that for a fact. Huh?
I know it for a fact. All past Heisman winners get a vote. They all get a vote. Because I remember it was a big thing when O.J. Simpson got out of jail. Would he still be able to vote? Because he's a past Heisman winner. But I don't know. What are you reading?
I'm reading to see if the Heisman if they do get a vote. Nothing that I see right here that just comes up right immediately when I type it in says that they get a vote. The past Heisman winner.
Bro, I'm telling you, they definitely
this right here proves my point of what I'm saying though. The Heisman winner is selected by 870 media members from across the country.
That's a lot.
Media members.
Exactly. But who are those media members?
870.
Nope. The number of finalists depends on the distribution of voters beyond the top 3 voters. 56 previous Heisman winners also cast votes.
There you go.
Told you.
There you go. Give yourself a hand clap. You was finally right one time.
I like the hand clap. I like the kids.
Wow.
I don't know. It sounds better than the hand clap. You know? That sounds like a bunch of people that don't want to be there.
I like the hand clap, man. I like the hand clap.
But that's a lot of people having a hand in the pot to vote. Over 800 different sports writers across the country.
Yeah, almost 900. We might as well say 900, 870.
Yeah. So how many of them actually pay attention to those particular players all season long?
Exactly. You can't really.
No.
Like that's why I think a lot of times the Heisman is kind of weak also, because like the front runners are going to be the guys pretty much the entire time.
Right.
Because there's only enough time to really watch, because these people have real jobs also.
Yeah.
So there's only enough time to watch 4 or 5 guys. You really can't watch everybody.
Nope. All you can do is watch highlights. So so really your Heisman run is based off what ESPN can chop up in the highlights and show in that.
And then also you have to have the numbers, obviously. But
the numbers, of course. But also, if you're making big plays and constantly making big plays, and that's all they're seeing, you're gonna get it.
Yeah, I agree. But I've always thought that about the Heisman. How can people legitimately choose a real Heisman?
With so many colleges being in so many college athletes or college football players in the country.
Yeah. There's so many college football players in the country, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, you might as well go ahead and say like, because I think about it like this. You might as well like go ahead and like knock down immediately, like straight to the Power Five, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like nobody outside the Power Five really has a legitimate chance to win the Heisman.
Unless you're just putting up crazy numbers like the kid from BYU last year.
Yeah. But I'm saying like that's not, you know what I mean? Most likely it's Power Five, go ahead and knock everybody out except the Power Five.
Okay.
Then out of your Power Five schools, you gotta be, like you said, Mr. Big Play.
Yep.
You gotta make crazy, humongous plays. You can't just nickel and dime your way to 1,800, 2,000 yards and think you're gonna win the Heisman. Because you gotta have the big play. And then also your team has to have success.
Yeah. And I don't like that part of it. Because you could be, say you're running back and you putting up say 250, 300 yards a game. And I mean, and that's a damn good, some damn good numbers, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But your team losing. You didn't even get a shot, and you could be the number one rusher in the country, and you're not getting no love at all because your team is losing.
Exactly. A bad defense has stopped a lot of people from winning the Heisman. A bad defense has stopped a ton of people winning the Heisman. If you got some footage and need a dope highlight tape put together, holla at your boy. I'm gonna put some smoke transitions and Dolphin instrumentals on that thing and get you in the Heisman race. That's Cam, super producer, man. Hit him up if you need a video. But for real though, the Heisman is kind of a joke. I'll go on wax and saying that the Heisman race is kind of a joke.
Now you're gonna explain that to me because I don't think
we just explained it. I
don't think it's a joke.
That makes it a joke. So are MVPs. They're jokes. Any single person award where you start talking about my team, it's a joke.
Oh yeah, okay, I got you now.
It's a joke.
Yeah, but still though, like I wouldn't call it a joke. I say, yeah, it's a little shady because you can use that as a way to not give a person the trophy or the award.
Makes it a joke. That makes it a joke. How many times have we sat here and talked about an MVP award that was given out that everybody disagreed on, pretty much?
A lot, especially when it comes to LeBron.
Exactly. How many times have we sat here and watched the MVP award given out that everyone disagreed on?
I mean, it happens a lot, but everybody gonna disagree because they play.
How many times have we seen things put side by side? There's no way this guy's the MVP. There's no way this guy's the MVP. And then let's just break down what MVP, first of all, what it truly means.
The most valuable player.
The most valuable player. It don't even mean really the best player. It don't even mean really the best player.
No, it's the most valuable. Who to me, when it comes like the MVP award, that's all right. Who's getting talked about the most? Who's bringing in the most money when it comes to endorsement deals or being an ambassador for that sport? You know what I'm saying? That I think that's what the MVP is more about. Not necessarily what you do on the court, but mostly what you do off the court.
I don't think it's that either, because if it's what you do off the court, LeBron would definitely win it every year.
Well, yeah, but see, LeBron is the thing where if they really went off who was the best player in the league year after year, they would have to give it to LeBron, and you can't give it to a player that many times because then it would get boring.
It's already boring because no one's watching it now. No one's looking at it. No one's really looking at the MVP now because you're just giving it to somebody at this point.
So who got it last year?
Giannis. Which Giannis deserved it last year. I'm not saying that every year it goes to the wrong person. I think Giannis probably deserved it last year. But hell, Giannis might have deserved that shit 6 years ago, because I guarantee you, at one point in time, he was the most valuable player to his team in that hole. Period. You know what I mean?
But okay, so that's what I'm confused on because, and I don't know why I should know this by now, but is it the most valuable to his team or the most valuable to the league overall, or is it both?
Man, I've heard millions. I don't want to say millions, but I've heard a lot of analysts say the most valuable to this team.
Okay.
That is the language they use, so that's the one I'm going to use. Most valuable to his team, and that's why they bring in the wins. Because if you're that valuable to your team, you should be helping them win. But I think you can be hella valuable to a team, and like you said, certain things just make you lose. Certain things are just there that make you lose. It doesn't decrease your value to the team.
Right. Because I mean, like say in basketball, you got 4 of the guys out there on the court with you. So is it my play plus what those guys do? Because I can keep us in the game the whole time, but then when that last shot come, I wasn't open. The other guy took a shot, we miss it, game over. Or do you got to be that guy to take that last shot?
People, basketball fans, I'm gonna talk about y'all for a little bit. Like true basketball or hoopers. I say hoopers. I want to say basketball fans. I'll say I'm a basketball fan. But hoopers or people who have played basketball for a stretchy time in their life or a lengthy career in basketball, maybe didn't go pro, maybe they did. They always talk about it. They always talk about basketball in such a different way than that they think they see it than everybody else sees. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like people talk about LeBron, the way he dribbled the ball and everything.
Exactly. Like people are still saying LeBron can't dribble. He can't dribble. LeBron can't dribble. LeBron can't dribble. When you can type in right now online, LeBron dribbling to the basket. And watch him dribble from one end of the court to the other end of the court and get a layup on pros year in after year.
Yeah, but I think people just like to be picky. They just like to be nitpicky because
he dribbles at a pro level. There's nothing to nitpick.
Well, I mean, they nitpick it because it's not fun. It might not be fundamental. Like, he should be doing it this way.
Exactly. Like everybody's not AI, but that don't mean they can't dribble.
Right.
He can't shoot free throws though.
But I mean, if we're talking about NBA players, everybody in NBA, if you're a pro, you can dribble the ball. You didn't get there not being able to dribble.
Yeah. Obviously, everybody don't have point guard handles, which I think LeBron has like mid-level point guard handles at least. But I'm just saying, basketball fans always think they see shit differently than everybody else in the world. Like basketball people that play basketball, like Brandon Lawrence, that keeps commenting in his post.
Yeah,
he used to play basketball for Bloomberg. I'll let y'all know. I mean, he used to play basketball for Bloomberg, and he believes that he sees the game a lot different than everybody else.
J-Mo, get going somewhere, man. At a middle school level,
LeBron will score 60 on you in a lawn chair. Shout out Mobley though.
but yeah, I mean, I'm guilty of it because like when I go watch, you know what I'm saying, high school ball here in South Dakota, I nitpick some of the stuff that I see the running backs do. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think you have to. If you're going to go watch high school anything, you don't have to nitpick.
No, but I also know what level I'm watching too. So I'm like, okay, in high school you should be able to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm saying like in high school, like the running backs not. I mean, obviously some running backs are ready right now, but in high school, when you're going to go watch a high school football game, you're going to see a lot of mistakes. I mean,
But no, this is what I'm talking about. So like, I'll go to a game and they'll be like, all right, this kid's getting recruited by Iowa. He's one of Iowa's top recruits. So Iowa is a Power 5 school. All right. So I expect to see a Power 5 ready back. But then when I watch him play, he looks sloppy. You know what I'm saying? He carrying the ball on the wrong side. You know what I'm saying? When they get time for contact, he's not covering the ball up. Like I'm like, that's just fundamental shit.
I know. I hear you saying that. That's what I'm saying. But that's high school. You're not gonna go watch the Giants and see Saquon running that thing and be like, "Ooh, look at him! He ain't running. He ain't got the ball on the wrong. He got the ball on the wrong side. Why he didn't put it? If you see Saquon carrying that bitch in his inside hand, you gonna start carrying that bitch in your inside hand.
But
You know
see,
what I'm saying? But if you was a
like I
basketball
said,
player, it's not gonna be like that.
but yeah, but I also know what level of like I never made it to the league, so I'm not gonna critique a guy heavy in the league because obviously he did something that I didn't do to get there. So you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But it's somebody right now that never made it to the league, didn't really play that much in high school, hell, and they'll tell you that they can get to their spot and get a shot better than somebody that's in the league.
And that's why I don't argue with Hoopers, man. I can't. I just
That's
refuse
what I'm saying.
to.
Hoopers are truly a different breed.
Because Hoopers even refuse to look at numbers.
Exactly.
The numbers could tell you that this player is better, and they'll go from basketball to, well, you know, when he was at the club that night, he didn't do this or he trashed to me. Like, what? What?
I will say that. That's what I'm saying. Hoopers don't look at the numbers because they swear they see the game differently than every other person on earth. They just see it. I don't know why he's better, but he's better. Or they'll tell you why they think it's better, but it really don't make sense. It's because they talk like only a hooper would understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, man. And I mess with hoopers. We got RTL. We have no beef with hoopers. But I will say y'all kind of soft. And y'all think y'all see the game differently than everybody else. And that shit is not true.
And very emotional, too, when it comes to arguments.
Oh, yeah. You go to you go to a rec basketball game. You're going to argue for 30. You're going to argue for at least 30 minutes of the game, man.
Man, shoot.
That boy can't. He's so stupid, man. Let me get an update on y'all.
The RTL podcast.
Let me get an update on y'all and y'all's boy. Oh, they done went up again. 2010. 2010 is the score right now. 3:08 left in the third quarter.
Cool.
3:08 left in the fourth quarter. Hey, something crazy happened in Texarkana in this week. We had Texas coach Sarkisian in the building, coming to see top recruit Derek Brown, recent early signee of the Texas Longhorns in his hometown, and it just made me think of some old memories back at 13 Wisteria, man. You know what I mean? Some sit downs with the coaches, and I think that's that's a big deal.
Oh yeah, man. Anytime. Well, one, it's a big deal when the big man call you, because most of the time, if you're getting recruited, it's going to be one of the assistant coaches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to have the big man call you and talk to you on the phone is already a big deal. But to have him show up at your crib and, you know what I'm saying, come to the school and talk to you and the coach and kind of walk around the school. They talk to the teachers, get to, you know what I'm saying, know who you are as a person. They already know who you are as a football player because they offered you. Now they want to know who you are as a person, you know what I'm saying? And then to come back to the house to meet the fam and eat, dude, that's a big deal. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Like, eating some of mama's food is a lot different than going to a restaurant or anything like that, or even like going down to wherever the school is. It's a lot different.
Oh yeah,
having them come into your crib. This guy's a millionaire. First of all, let's think about that. This guy's a millionaire, multi-millionaire, and he's coming to your house. I don't know. When you were getting recruited for sure, and it only happened to me one time, but when you were getting recruited for sure, it was nothing for us to be sitting around in the living room watching, you know, whatever show we were watching at the time or whatever movie
Sanford and Son.
You know what I'm saying? and knock, open up the door, and bam, there's 2-3 coaches standing right there. You know what I mean?
But this is the thing about us. We never got the opportunity to prep for nothing. It was, and I always thought it was funny. Oh, hey, we just happened to be in town and we wanted to stop by. So you flew all the way from New York. You flew all the way from Annapolis, Maryland, and you just happened to be in Texarkana, happened to be on 13 Wisteria, so you stopped by the house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. And,
but I'll never forget that day when Coach Nehemiah and Coach Nehemiah Lolo was the head coach at the U.S. Naval Academy where I played football at. But one day we at the house chilling, and we get a knock at the door, open it up. It's Coach Dupay, the running backs coach, He goes, "Hey, got somebody here who want to see you." And if you ever been to our house at 13, there's the carport kind of goes to the left side of the house, and he stepped from behind the wall. I'm like, "Oh shit!" Like Coach Nehemiah. And mind you, I had not been on my visits yet, so they had popped up, and Mama had just got off work. Ain't no food ready, so we had to run to Papa Murphy's, get some pizza. Yeah, get some pizza, pop them in the oven, and while the food cooking, we sitting there talking, and of course, food get done. We all sit around the table and just conversate, and that's one of the reasons why I picked Navy, because I mean, they didn't act like they were coaches. They was members of the family. You know what I'm saying? While we sitting there eating.
Yeah. Hey, the only thing, I'm not gonna say the only thing, but my most memorable moment from the entire night was when they were leaving out the door, and they turned around and said, "Hey, we'll be back for you in a couple of years." And I said, "No, sir."
I said, "No, sir."
No, sir.
Hey, I was actually surprised because they came to Texarkana a lot after they recruited me, because they ended up getting, and not just for football, they recruited a guy from Texas High for swimming, Coy Bryant, I think that's his name.
Yeah.
And then you had
a couple of guys for football.
Yeah, another guy from Texas High, that played football there.
Two.
Yes, Brandon. The Navy versus Army game is this weekend, and yes, it's the Navy. You see that jersey behind them? That it's the Naval Academy.
Hey, have you seen Army's unis?
Oh my God,
they're sweet,
bro. I'm gonna tell you now. So when I was at Navy, we were Nike. You know what I'm saying? And Nike hooked us up all the time during the Army Navy game. Ever since Navy has gone to Under Armour, now last year's jerseys, A1, loved them, but since then, not too good.
Since when? Last year?
No. I'm saying once they switched to Under Armour,
yeah.
In that first year, trash. The year after that, trash. Last year's A1. This year's trash. Now Army, they still with Nike, and boy, man,
they suited up for
it. They suited up. You know what I'm saying? They suited up. But I understand why Navy switched to Under Armour. You know what I'm saying? Under Armour is a Maryland-based company, so why wouldn't you have your military academy and repping the hometown company?
Exactly. And I'll tell you my.
Yep, Navy played SMU. We beat them every time we played them.
Yeah, they played them this year, matter of fact. But hey, check this out. My coach pop-up story. This is a school that I've never talked to really at all, and it was kind of weird, but it was cool though. Me and this dude actually ended up developing a relationship and still have relationships to this day. But chilling at the house. This is my senior year now. You and Tristan are both out of the house, so it's just me and Mom's chilling at the house. Boom, boom, boom. Knock on the door, open it up. Old dude, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, how you doing? Whatever. He's like, how you doing? Is Nick home? So I'm like, yeah, it's me. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. And so he looks a little, shocked or whatever, and he's like, oh, I expect you to have a little more hair on your face. You know what I'm saying? Back then I was straight up nothing at all, whatever. And whatever. He's like, I'm Coach Schultz, defensive coordinator, Texas State. Oh, okay, cool, or whatever. He's like, can I come in? Comes in, we chop it up and all this good stuff or whatever. This dude is sitting here spitting to me. When I tell you about selling the dream, this guy was like the immediate set. Never had talked to Texas State on the phone, none of that. Yeah. No letters, none of that. This dude is sitting here like, oh, we think, he's first of all, he lies off the rip. You're at the top of our recruiting board. We think you could come in here and be a team captain your first year. I'll never get all this or whatever. He just giving it to me or whatever. He left that. When he left the house, I was a bobcat or a wildcat, whatever they are. When he left the house, I was sold on it. I was sold on it, bro. Because he came to the house. I never had, I know coaches that ever came to the house, whatever. So he came to the house, whatever. So I'm like, sit there. You know what I'm saying? Like team captain my first year, all this shit, whatever, bro. And, and I think I'd already been talking to SMU a little bit or whatever. And so Coach Ryan Bowl had asked me if anybody had, come by the house or whatever. And I told him Texas State or whatever. And he said, "You gonna be a team captain your first year, huh?"
Hey man, and that was they selling story. They sticking to
it. I was like, damn. And so, hey, coach, that's why I never came, man. That's why I never came, because you hold me with a generic story.
Man, I think the wildest story that I had was when Army came, because Army once I got hurt, Army was like, you know what, he ours, man. You know what I'm saying? He ours. And I get to school early. I'm getting a little workout in, and it's like 7 a.m, and Coach Ake just walks in the weight room. Oh, hey man, and I look at him like, what? One, I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
I see the A on the shirt, so I already knew he's from Army. And he goes, "Hey, I'm Coach Ake. I'm the guy you talk to on the phone all the time." I'm like, "Oh shit," you know what I'm saying? And bro, from the time he walked in, we chatted up. I didn't even get a workout in. Coach Davis comes in. We go to his office. We sit and talk. And he didn't go. He had no plans to go nowhere else in Texarkana. I don't know what he did all day. But then get out of school. He come to track practice. So we out there talking, blah, 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 blah. I don't even get to do nothing with track because he's still just chatting it up. Then he hands me this big old thing of letters, man. Handwritten letters from all the Army football alumni, all the other coaches, head coach, assistant coaches, the athletic director, and then the he's not the commandant. I don't know what the equivalent of at West Point is, but gave me all these letters and was like, you know what I'm saying? Just remember, when you got hurt, we stuck around with you the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got you. Hey, but let me tell you, it is his fault because I was going to Army.
Yeah.
It's his fault because when I said, hey, I called Coach Ake. Matter of fact, that morning I committed. We called Coach Bennett. And I was like, "Hey, Coach Bennett, you got room for one more Black Knight?" And they was like, "Oh, yeah. And he goes, "How about you call them boys over to Napa? Tell me you ain't coming." All right. But this how stuff worked. He didn't answer the phone. So I was like, "I didn't answer the phone." So they called me back around lunchtime. "Hey man, what's good?" Like it's like the next day they called me back. Like, "Hey man, what's good? Hey, I just want to let you know I'm going to Army." And it was like, "What? When your visit?" I'm like, "My visit is in like 2 weeks." "No, scratch that. It's this week." And I went on my visit, and the rest is history, man.
Midshipman you became.
Oh yeah, and then when you got to call and tell him, "Hey, I'm going to Navy."
Yeah, that's one thing I'm glad I didn't have to do. I never committed. I only committed to one school. So I'm glad I didn't have to do that, man. I didn't want to have to decommit and go somewhere else or whatever.
Oh yeah, but I think it's cool that all these coaches are coming to town, and Texarkana is. I mean, Texarkana has always gotten love from what I'm saying, the college coaches coming, but it kind of for a while it kind of died down. But to see it amp back up, and not just amp back up, but it's massive right now. I mean, there's coaches. I'm sure there's coaches there in Texarkana every day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad these guys are getting a shot to go off somewhere and show off their talents.
Exactly, man. That's the goal, man. You want to get these coaches in your house. When you get these coaches in your house, it's kind of like locking yourself in, man. Once they taste some of Mama's cooking, what that boy say? Who that is that say that?
Kwame Brown.
Sir Kwame Brown. Once they get some of Mama's cooking, baby, hey, it's a lot different. That relationship is a lot stronger than otherwise, man. So that's the goal for sure.
But if I can give some of these young cats some advice, when these coaches do come sit down on the couch, like I know it's really hard not to be starstruck because you see these guys on ESPN and you see them on TV on Saturdays and everything. But like ask them the hard questions. Like that's you're interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you. Yeah. Ask them the hard questions. Hey, if I come there, where am I on the depth chart? What's playing time looking like?
Who else is coming too?
Yeah. Who else is coming? You know what I'm saying? And then, I was big on it was what's the academics like? You know what I'm saying? What's going to be there to help me? And you know what I'm saying? And learn who they are. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, because two GAs sitting at a desk watching you do your work is not help.
No, not at all. You want if once you get the big man in there and tell him shoot it real with me. You know what I'm saying? I want to know. I want to have all my ducks from when I make my decision, and don't commit on the spot. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real easy when they in front of you and they talking all good and they talking you up, and you like, yeah, I'm good. I'm coming there. And next thing you know, the school you really want to go to, they come knocking the next day.
Yeah.
So just be like, hey, coach, I appreciate you coming. Me and my family gonna sit down and we're gonna go over what's the best option for us. Because it is a us. It's not, I mean, yeah, you going there, but it's a family thing, as much as people try to say it's not.
It's a family thing too, because you got to think about mama gonna get the phone calls at 2 a.m. with you crying. You know what I mean? Mama gonna get the phone calls with, I don't know why I ain't traveling this week. You know what I'm saying? Mama gonna get the phone calls with, man, this is my 3rd time being hurt. I don't want to do this shit no more. You know what I'm saying? So it is a us thing. It's not just a you going to school. Yeah, you're the only one leaving physically, but it's a family ordeal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a family ordeal. If you get in a little trouble, hopefully you don't. But if anybody go anywhere and get in a little trouble, who coming to save you? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna come to the rescue?
It's gonna be mom and daddy.
Exactly. So putting you in the best position to succeed has to be a family choice. It can't just be man, I think they clean. It's where I want to go. You know what I mean? I'm the one playing football. I want to go play here. It's not just on you. It's bigger than you at that point.
It's way bigger than you.
And you want to make that decision with the people around you too, because at the end of the day, if you make it to the ultimate goal for most football players, which is get to the NFL and you get that big payday, you want those people to have supported you this entire road, whether you fought against them and now it's all hee haw because of where you are.
Oh yeah. But man, like I said, I'm definitely excited to see all these coaches coming to town, and and I can't wait. But I'm definitely interested in seeing what's going to happen with these playoff games tomorrow.
Oh yeah, man! Hey, again, shout out to the home team. Go ahead and give them your little yell or hand clap, whatever you want to do over there.
But for Pleasant Grove.
Texas High heads to Lufkin tomorrow. I don't want to be wrong and give you the wrong time on that game, but you got to buy the tickets to watch it. If you don't, I might be lying on that too, but I think you do. And if they're playing down in Lufkin, so go down there and catch them. Playing against Crosby, man, it's a revenge game. It's a revenge game on both sides.
Oh, yeah.
It's a revenge game on both sides. It's a revenge game from last year for Texas High, and it's a revenge game from Week 10 for PG. PG's going against Gilmer. They'll be playing that game in Mount Pleasant, I believe. T-High plays at 7:30 in Lufkin. They're going against Crosby. Took them out of the playoffs last year when they had a really, really, really good team. Crosby lost a few players, but they coming back with a 10-1 record, or 10 into the season. 9-1, I believe, or something like that. End of the season really well. Back in the playoffs, running up a bunch of points, running all over the field, quarterback scrambling like crazy, but Texas High is on a mission.
Yeah, them boys on a mission.
Haven't been past the second round since 2006. Haven't touched the state championship since 2002. The program is ready.
2002?
Or they won the state championship in 2002.
Yeah, but they went the next year, but remember they lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hadn't won a state championship since 2002. They're ready. This is the group. I think this is the group to do it. I haven't been around many Texas High groups. All right. So let me start off by saying that. So I don't want any of these other groups to get offended. Haven't been around too many Texas High groups. But when I'm around this group right here and I watch them play, I think they're the group that can do it. If they can overcome this hurdle. This goes for both teams in town tonight.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow night. Both of these, if we come home with 2 dubs tomorrow night, I'm calling it now. You heard it here first on the RTL. Compliments of Texas Canada Game Day. If we come home with 2 dubs tomorrow night, you will have 2 state titles coming home to Texarkana.
Yep.
Give that shit a hand clap right there. Give that shit a hand.
Oh yeah. But hey, like during Thanksgiving, we had 2 guys that actually played for Texas High. They was hanging out with our cousin Christopher, and just being around them and talking to him about the game. Or no, it was 3 of them.
3 of them.
They were ready. I mean, they told us at dinner. They was like, "Hey, look, like we going out there tomorrow, and we handling business." And that's what they did. You know what I'm saying? And you could just hear it in their voice. They was ready for it. They was ready for the game. I mean, even when they were sitting there eating, you could just look at them in their head. They just kind of going over plays and stuff in their head. So, I mean, they ready, and I hope they get it, because I would love to see another year where Texarkana bring home 2 state titles, because I think it happened back in 06 when LE won it and Arkansas High won it. I think that was the last time it's happened.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, we got a lot of 06 popping up, because that's the last time Texas High's been past the 2nd round. Right now, they're going into the 4th round, I believe. I want to say, 4th round of the playoffs, playing against Crosby. Back in Bloods on the video on Instagram. Check it out. Hey, it's a revenge game. Gilmer did their thing. I will tell y'all this completely. I'm from the Grove, straight out the Grove. Gilmer did their thing when they came down here to PG in week 10. All right. They did their thing. I'm not going to lie. All right. It's going to be an uphill battle for the Grove. I'm not going to lie. All right. But they might do
it. Here's the thing about Gilmer that I can say. When my freshman year, we played Gilmer at home, and they had just came off a state championship. You know what I'm saying? So it was a big thing. We only lost it. It was 27-30. You know what I'm saying? Now, the first round that we made to the playoffs that year, the first round, we played them in Longview. I kid you not, that was an entirely different team. They beat us like 75-15.
I'm telling you, man.
It was an entirely different team. We couldn't run the ball, we couldn't pass the ball. I mean, it was, and they were hitting harder.
And that happens when you play a team twice. I've had the opportunity to play a team twice in one season also as well. It was Pittsburgh. They beat us both times as well. Hopefully PG has a different ending. But we played Pittsburgh, and they dog walked us in the regular season. First half we killed them. The second half they came out murdered, and then we play them again in the playoffs, and it was a battle. It was a battle. It was a battle to the end there. So that's how the game goes. When you play a team 2 times in a row, it's crazy. Crazy things happen. It's like a rivalry game. You never know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Because both teams think they come into the game thinking, okay, hey, we got them figured out this time. And that's a great creation for a Storm right there. We think we got them this time, especially with the team that comes out on top big the first time. That's a scary situation to be in. The Gilmer coaches are not as lax as the players are right now. I can tell you that.
No, they are. They know, because they know what kind of team Pleasant Grove is, and if you let Pleasant Grove get the rolling, they will beat you.
Exactly. It's just like a couple of stops, like the football gods. Anybody who's played sports or whatever, we talk about these gods all the time. You know what I mean? At least anybody who I've ever been around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you play baseball, it's the baseball gods. Football gods. Basketball gods. Whatever. But these gods, these mythical gods that we've created, this energy is real.
Yeah, it's like,
all right.
You know what I'm saying? Like a player will fumble it and the ball might bounce back up in his hands, or
exactly
the player might fumble it and then roll right to you on the defense. You know what I'm saying? Or it's a crazy little things that happen in the game.
Listen to me, tell y'all, it is real. Have you've seen it come out? You on paper, there is no way that this team beats this other team, right? You've seen it. There's no way it happens. And then the game starts, and the team who's the underdog come out, and all of a sudden, this team that's been crushing people all year, rolling through everybody, they can't get a snap.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? 4th and inches, they go for it, and it's a bad spot. They got the first down, but it's a bad spot. Now the other team got the ball. Now when the other team gets the ball, you know what I'm saying? Your key man on defense go down. You jump up for an interception and slip through your hands. They catch it and take that bitch 60 to the crib. We see it happen all the time. Yep. These football guys, these baseball guys are so real. Hey, baseball guys, you come around the team that's been doing everything right all year long, working hard, staying after practice, taking extra BP, taking extra ground balls. They end up in a big game in the season, getting into the deep in the late innings. That you playing against somebody who ain't made no errors all year. All of a sudden, he can't feel shit.
Can't feel nothing. You know, I'm not even gonna go there.
You just throwing shit. Hey, can't catch shit. Throwing shit over people's heads. Hey, I'm telling you.
Two outs. You know what I'm saying? They hit a grounder. It's a regular grounder. They throw it to the first baseman, and they just go past the glove.
Hey, boy, you gonna get.
That's why I said I wasn't gonna say nothing.
I'm telling you. Hey, I'll tell you. Hey, it's a transparent over here. I've messed up 2 championship games in my life in baseball, playing first base. Same situation. I can't catch that hoe. Same situation. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. You live and you learn.
Oh yeah. You definitely live and learn, man.
But these sports gods are hilarious. I mean, they're there. They're hilariously there.
Yeah.
Every coach out there feels what I'm saying right now. Because you stood on the side. I just know the coach, because when I've been out there on the field, I just knew the coaches on the sideline was cringing. They were cringing because they sat there and they were like, this is about to happen. How many times you been watching the game and say, hey, man, this is about to happen? And then bam, it's right there and it happened. Because you sat there and watched the sports guys. You felt the sports guys take over a game that you were in before.
Oh, yeah.
You felt it. If you play any type of sports, you felt like their situation, like we can't get shit right. We can't get shit right.
Nope. I mean, I remember we were playing Air Force at home, and we were going the whole game going back and forth, and we go into overtime. We score first, and we actually kick a field goal. We didn't score a touchdown. We kicked the field goal. So Air Force gets the ball on the 5-yard line. We like, shit, man. You know they finna score. You know what I'm saying? They about to score.
Yeah.
All they gotta do is run it. And them football guys say, we're not going to run it. We're going to do a pass play on it's fourth and goal. We're going to do y'all going to do a pass play. And they roll out to pass it, and we just happen to a linebacker blitz, sack, game over. It's like, why would they run that ball? Why would they pass that ball in that situation? It's just them, sprinkle a little bit of we're not gonna have y'all run it. I mean, we all gonna pass that ball.
I'm telling you, it's like situations like that in game clinching situations. There's no other reason for it. Any other situation that coach would have called a run play. Hell, you got down there running it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Any other coach would have called a run play, unless it's Pete Carroll. Called a run play, and you win the game. But it's something in that moment. Fog of war. Shout out my boy Craig.
Craig John, that fog of war, baby. It'll make you do some different things, man. It'll make you do some different things. But I'm definitely excited for these guys to all get a shot to play for a state title, and bring something home for Texarkana.
Exactly, and it's a real shot of happening. Like I said, the Pleasant Grove game is a little bit more of an uphill battle than most, but it can happen. Texas High, I believe they're going to do it. I will say this: I will be shocked if they don't do it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I'll definitely be. I won't be watching the game, but I'll definitely be. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get some scores. I know some people on Facebook that'll be posting about it. Shout out to Derek Big Hooper Cooper.
Oh yeah,
Derek Big Caesar Hooper.
Big Caesar Hooper, baby. Hey, also before we sign off here tonight, just touching back on like what we were talking about last time, getting out and doing things.
Yeah.
If you have something you want to be doing, get out and do it. Also, try new things. I recently just learned that Kevin Gates shoots a bow.
Yes, right, bro. I was shocked. I was shocked when I saw it.
I was shocked when I saw it as well, but I want to get it to where that's the norm. We're not shocked when we see that.
Nope. But dude, I went and read the comments, Nah, we a long ways away from that, bro. Man, people saying like, "Oh man, you doing everything but dropping music. Where the album at? Man, put that bow down, man. You ain't no Cherokee." And like, bro, you can't rap all the time, man.
Pick
You
the
can't rap
bow up.
all the time. Pick the bow up. Pick a bow up. Pick a gun up. Go out in the woods. Do something. Learn how to feed your family on your own with these right here. Because these right here be covered in a whole lot of blood.
Exactly, man. And also, I think it just gives you a different skill. It just gives you a different challenge. It gives you something else to watch, something else to look up, something else, to stimulate. I think that's what happens. Like that's how we end up getting like dad bod, and we end up getting like lazy and just out of shape and everything like that because I think we stopped stimulating those things that kept. Because you didn't work out. Let's just be honest. To all athletes out here, there are some athletes that I know that put time in the gym 24/7. That's what they do. They put time in the gym, and you see that. All right. But there's also a ton of athletes that I know that you didn't put that much time in the gym and you always stayed in shape. But now we're running up on that 3-0. Some of us a little bit over it, some of us a little bit under it, but we're all around that 3-0 age, and now things are getting soft.
Yep, getting that soft body.
And it's stimulation. It's strictly stimulation.
And not just for your body, but for your mind too. Because
exactly.
I know with me, when it comes to archery, my brain, I had to like reconfigure the way my brain thought. Because like I'm looking at the pin, but I see the pin is constantly moving. Because of course you're human, you can't stay still. You're not a robot. You know what I'm saying? And the lady that was teaching me how to shoot my bow, she's like, "Don't watch the pin, watch the target. The target don't move." But in my head, I'm thinking, how can I shoot this target and not put the pin? She's like, the pin will just float to it. So I'm having to tell my mind, like, I'm watching the target. And it took forever to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? So now it just, you know what I'm saying? Your brain started working a different way. And then having to look and say, all right, what's 20 yards? And just not using a rangefinder, just, all right, that's 20, that's 30. And just being able to look at stuff and automatically know the distance of it. You know what I'm saying? It makes your brain work a different way.
Exactly. And that stimulation speeds up your metabolism, bodily functions such as using the restroom are better and more normal, and also breathing, things like that. So I'm not saying you have to pick up a bow either. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's what I've chosen. You know what I'm saying? Obviously Kevin Gates, and then obviously the dreaded archer himself.
Oh yeah,
obviously choose the bow. But hell, it could be art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can, and I'm not against the rapping thing. If rapping is your getaway or whatever, do it. Get studio time and make music.
Man, don't get no studio time. Get you a laptop and you can set that up yourself.
No, because I hear you on that too. I hear you on that too. But if you're doing it as a release and not as your whole thing, get studio time and just go in the studio, let off what you need to let off, and get up out of there, man. Because some people get stuck off in trying to be a rapper instead of it being a release when they get it in their room, when they can do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Also, since we're speaking about rappers right now, if you are an unsigned artist, let me get this out the way. And I want you to clip this. I want you to clip this so I can put it out.
All right.
If you are an unsigned artist, working your way up in the ranks, you are trying to be seen, you are trying to be somebody. Why are you holding music?
Oh, yes.
Why are you holding your music? If you are an unsigned artist and you are trying to get signed or you're trying to get famous or whatever, flood the internet with your music.
Because that's how the algorithm works. And people wonder, people say, why? How did this guy get on? Why they signed him? And then you go back and look at his road, and he was dropping mixtape if not every week, every month. Bro, a mixtape out. Music constantly coming out.
I am so tired. Friends or not. We got friends that are doing this too. But friends or not, I am tired of seeing, man, I got so much undropped music. Who cares?
Because no one knows who you are.
What? Because let's just be real. Nothing you're making right now is going to be the quality of the shit you're going to be making when you really get on.
Right.
So what are you saving it for?
And the timeline moves so fast, and it's crazy to think that with the birth of social media, we now put timeline is now part of our lexicon when it comes to how we measure stuff. But the timeline moves so fast that you might be rapping about something, and in 2 to 3 weeks, everybody's off of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If everything's moving too fast now for you to sit on, I got 2 mixtapes I can drop. Bro, them things should have been dropped when you finished them.
Exactly. Drop them. And even now, still drop them.
Yep, drop them.
Because what are you going to do with it? Okay, it's so much of a difference than like Drake having, let's just say Drake's got 1,000 or 2,000 songs that he's recorded, that finished, and he's never released. All right? That's a lot different than me having 2,000 songs on this laptop and never releasing them. You know why? Because no matter whether Drake released them 2,000 or not,
people know who Drake is.
Exactly. He's already made it. He can sit on as much music as he want to sit on. And when he says that, that makes people want more of his music. When you say that, it's like, what? Okay.
I ain't heard one thing yet.
You got 2 mixtapes you ain't dropped, but I don't know what you got at all. I don't care that you don't have 2 mixtapes you haven't dropped. Your music, you don't have that big of a buzz in these streets. Like, let's just be honest. I think people gotta start being honest about their career, and then we'll get somewhere.
Yeah.
If you are a clothing designer trying to come up in the clothing game, you're not gonna make a design and leave it in the closet.
No, you gotta get it out there. You're
gonna put it out there. If you're a woodworker and you carve up some clean shit, you're not gonna put it in the shed. You're gonna put it out there.
You got to.
If you in any profession, you're trying to come up in and you have a product, you have to get the product to market.
Yep.
You have to put it out there for people to want it. But y'all sitting here rapping and making songs. Oh, this song's so hard. Riding around in your car listening to it. Well, I should be riding around in my car listening to it.
Exactly.
Well, that's just my spiel on that right there. I ain't gonna get too deep into that because that can get real sticky.
I mean, that's a whole nother show for another day. But I mean, you're selling it. You're telling it right, and not just with music, but like you said, with anything. If you are working on something, you're trying to get that artwork or anything in front of people, get it out in front of people, man. You got to. We're in the media age. You got to constantly flood the internet, flood social media, get it in the algorithm where people get tired of seeing your shit. Where eventually, man, let me click. I done seen this thing 20 times. Let me see what it's about. And that's how you get on. You know what I'm saying? I was back home this weekend. And saw a young man, I think it was probably 9:30 at night. Young man on State Line sitting there selling art. That's what you got to do.
That's what you got to do. You got to get it out there. Now, he can take them same art pieces and put them in his closet and get on Facebook and be like, man, I got so many clean-ass pictures I ain't touched yet.
But ain't nobody seen them.
Doesn't matter until it gets out there, man. But it's that time in the show, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to come on. We actually told y'all this at the beginning. Also, we did another horrible job tonight of just telling y'all to go to the YouTube, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell.
Please.
Dang, we keep forgetting to do that. We're horrible. See, we're the type of people that don't flood social media. And that's maybe why the RTL ain't getting the views that we want all the way. Because we don't flood social media. But we have been having conversations about getting better at that. And that's all we can do is try to get better.
Hey, I started. I posted something yesterday.
Yeah, we posted the Barry Bonds thing. And also tell us what y'all would like to see on top of what we already going to post. At the end of the day, like we said on season 1, this our own motherfucking podcast. So we're going to post what we want to post, which y'all can tell us what y'all would like to see too. And we'll post that as well.
Exactly. Hey, and if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, you can always go to the RTL Facebook page and Instagram. And if there's something you want us to talk about, or if you yourself want to come on and talk about something, hey, hit us up. We bring you on and have you on the show.
Exactly.
So reach out to us.
Catch us on Facebook at Read Talk and Listen Podcast. That is the Read Talk and A&D, not the and sign. Talk and Listen Podcast. And then also you can find us on, where else we on?
Instagram.
Hey, catch my boy on Instagram at Dutch Dreaded Archer. My Instagram's kind of dead. We'll talk about that later on. Catch my boy on Instagram at the Dreaded Archer, DA Dreaded Archer. There it is right there. My Instagram right there. Big Poppy _ ONE9. Shout out my guy Big Poppy, like I was saying earlier. But yeah, if anybody want to click on the link, hop on, give a few words of encouragement to these rappers that's holding music, words of get out and live your dream, words of go get it now, words of go Navy, be Army, anything like that, hop on now.
Yep, hit the link in the chat. But I know it's kind of late, and folks that got done watching the game, they probably dipping out.
Exactly. The game ain't even over yet. It's almost over. It's still 2010. Cowboys have the ball at 4:37.
All right, that's a wrap.
Exactly, man. Exactly. But hey, any last words for the folks?
Oh no, man. Just go out and if you live somewhere where there's some good high school playoff football, go watch these young stars come up.
Oh yeah, and if you're around my way in the Texarkana area, there is a couple of things going on. Tomorrow, I'll go ahead and shout that out. There is the Texarkana Red River Hoop Fest. That's going to be at Texas High as basketball hoop fest. Some crazy teams coming down. Duncanville, one crazy team out of Texas. Magnolia out of Arkansas. Little Rock Hall out of Arkansas. It's going Lancaster. That's a bunch of teams coming down here to play some basketball. So get out, support these young men down here, to support them being inside of the gym and not out here in these streets, man. Because that's safe for nobody. And then also you got two of your teams going out of the area, or Mount Pleasant's not really out of the area. So get down to PG and watch Mount Pleasant. And then you got Texas High traveling to Lufkin. So get down there and watch them boys and show your support for your city, man.
Are you going to the Lufkin game?
I think I'm in Mount Pleasant, man. I think I'm in Mount Pleasant.
You and Lufkin, hit up Peebo.
Hey, shout out Peebo, man. Shout out Peebo. One of the first, if not the first, true life videographer I ever really knew.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Exactly, man. Used to watch them shows all the time back in the day. D Knox Entertainment. Shout out D Knox, man. I hope y'all boys all doing gravy.
No, they shut it down.
They shut it down?
Yeah, shut it down. Now he's more to his artsy films, like actually trying to do like drama and movies and stuff like that.
There we go, man. Shout out Peebo, man. Get it right down there. All right, but hey. Mental health checks, man. I know it's only 2 days later, but hey, where you at on a scale of 1 to 10 on the physical, mental, and in the business world, man?
Man, physically, man, I'm sitting at about a 7 right now. Body sore from working out, but feel good. Mentally, man, I'm at about a 9 because I get to go hunting this weekend, and I got my archery tag, and I gotta put down. I want to go for a mule deer, but if I see a nice whitetail buck, anything with the horns is getting knocked down. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's getting late in the season, if it's getting late, I'm just gonna put down a doe and put some meat in the freezer. And business wise, man, everything is good. The Dreaded Archer podcast is coming soon. Yeah, that's all I can say right now.
Where the merch at, man?
Huh?
Where is the merch?
The merch is coming.
I'm trying, y'all. Hey, y'all, I am trying. I know I had plenty of people hit me up with some Dreaded Archer merch. I'm trying. I'm not the Dreaded Archer. I'm just on the team, man. I'm just on the team. That's the Dreaded Archer. I'm trying to get y'all.
Bro, the thing is, man, I'm picky because I'm on this kick where I really want it to all be like US based. Like find some like US based company to make my shirts. You know what I'm saying? Because I in the hunting community, they real big on made in the US, made in the USA. You know what I'm saying? And it's giving Americans jobs and all that stuff. So I really want to find somebody in the US to make my shirts. And I want my design to be like, I want the pop. So just bear with me, but it's coming soon.
We hear you, man. We hear you. We hear you, bro. Hey, Rex did hit me up. Speaking of hunting, though, Rex hit me up today, man. He wanted me to come out Sunday, go get us some pheasant-thaw pigs, man. Go with the bow.
Oh, bro, they everywhere down there.
So we'll check. Maybe get to check that out. I got a crazy weekend ahead, but physically, man, I'm feeling good. Like I said, sat in the gym all day today, so no soreness there. Watched a little bit of basketball, but man, physically, I'm feeling good. I give myself about 7 or 8. On the physical scale, man, mentally, I'm tired a little bit. I mean, just end of football season, basketball season starting up, thinking about everything we got to do this weekend. But I'm
Yeah.
trying to cap it off with it. I'm trying to cap it off by putting an arrow through something.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So
that always make the week better.
exactly. So, and then I think we got to do some Christmas decorating this week as well too. So I think that'll make it a little bit, put me in a little bit of better spirits.
Oh yeah,
Whatever.
for
So
sure.
that'll all be good, man. And then business wise, hey, it's that time of year, man.
Oh yeah,
That time of year.
definitely.
We getting it. Also, I did talk to Percy today because I know you got the Dreaded Archer podcast coming soon. I talked to Percy today. They don't have a name yet, but we're gonna get some rolling over here as well. So not only do y'all get to hear a conversation between me and the Dreaded Archer, but you also get to hear a conversation between the Dreaded Archer and some of his peers, and then you also get to hear from me and Percy D argue about sports back and forth and things like that.
Oh, that'll be a good one because Percy he get worked up.
Exactly, man. Exactly. He wants to get out here on this, and that's what we started it for, man. To put our boys on. So why not?
Oh,
You know what I mean? But as always, this is season 3, episode 1.5, 1.5, however you want to break it down, of the Reed Talk and Listen podcast. I am your host, Nick Reed, along with my brother and co-host, Trey Reed, and we are out.
peace.
What? I mean, it's been turning up with her. The girl around us and she loving her. If we don't know you, don't come close to her. If you with your girl, let me hear you say, what?